morning, or since it's noon, good afternoon. Welcome to the training today. Whilst we've got people joining us, because I'm sure lots of people are going to be struggling to get into the group. I've had lots of issues with people finding out how to join a group, so I'm going to do a little training on that as well. But for those of you who are here, welcome. I hope you've got the worksheet downloaded. If you haven't, just do that, whilst I'll tell you a little bit more about myself and why I'm standing here. My name is Suze Bouwer. I'm a small business marketing implementation coach. You might ask what that means. I have, after 30 years of marketing, learned lots in my time, and for 4 years have been going back to school to learn modern marketing, internet marketing. And what floats my boat, and I'm very passionate about, is making marketing simple for people in small business. When I started this project, I found it very difficult to learn what my business opportunity was and who my customer is. So I probably wasted a year or more trying to work that out. And that is a lot of what I'm going to help you with today. If you listen to what I have to tell you today and you use the worksheet that I've given you and the worksheets you've got, I really promise you I'm going to shortcut and save you a lot of time. This was a big challenge for me, because the big thing when you start a business or want to know that you're in a viable business is to know that your product matters, that it is something that you can sell. Also, that you know exactly who your customer is. It is now really easy to find your customer online, and you need to know how to define them. So I'm going to work through that today. But what happened to me was, when I went to my own, I started this online learning experience and found it really difficult to learn online. One of the worst things that I experienced was, every time I had a question, my mentor would give me a link. Take this link, go and watch that and learn this. And that didn't suit the way I wanted to learn. So I've created what I'm bringing you to actually physically show you how to do stuff in your workplace so that you get breakthrough that much quicker. So it's not about follow this link, do that, do that. My training is very hands-on. I call myself an implementation coach because I show you what to do and how to do it and help you do it right away. So just a bit of where I work. I do one-on-one coaching. I'm bringing this format of training to you as a completely new concept. I hope it works, and I would appreciate you commenting and telling me how this is coming across to you, if you think it's a good way to learn, and help me develop my service to you in a way that you can consume the trainings that much easier and better. So just as an example of some of the stuff I do, social media coaching is a big part of my services. I did a training for Meikle's Hotel in Harare and the Victoria Falls Hotel at the end of October. Within 3 weeks, the MD got an email from one of her customers or followers on Facebook to say, what has happened to your social media? It's just sprung right up, and it's just so engaging and so beautiful. Can't wait to be back to the hotel. That was 3 weeks after the training. So you see results very quickly. Just day before yesterday, another one of my clients came through and said, woohoo, I've just got 400 new likes in 2.5 months without spending a cent on ads. So you will see results, and I will tell you what matters, and will hopefully give you the steps to focus on and show you what doesn't matter. And you don't need to spend time doing that. So let me just, what floats my boat, and the reason my business is called RedMatchstick is because I ignite your marketing, get you quick results, and get you moving that much faster. I focus very much on the basics that a lot of trainers don't help you with and expect you to already have overcome and understand, and so on. And that's for me where the gap and the opportunity lies to help you get a significant breakthrough. So, marketing made simple. This is where we start, and my way is easier, quicker, and definitely cheaper. Even if you have not got the capacity to do this yourself, understanding how things work is definitely going to help you manage those who do it for you, even if you outsource to an agency. If you understand what is necessary, you are going to be able to give them better direction or manage those people who do it for you in a better way. So, just some housekeeping. Please give me some feedback on how this is coming across to you. I hope you've got the worksheet downloaded. A reminder to download the worksheet because I am going to be referring to it. There is a Q&A opportunity at the end of this training. So if anything pops into your head that you want to ask, write it straight down below into the comments. And at the end of the training, I will answer anything that is you're struggling with at the moment, even if it's not directly related to this training, but is an issue in your marketing. And I'm asking you, please don't be distracted. Don't go into your news feed or let anybody else interrupt you, because if you miss something critical, the rest might not follow. So close the door, shut off interruptions, close that email inbox, and let's get started. Today, the focus is on the 5 essential pillars of any marketing strategy. Whether it's a digital marketing strategy or your holistic marketing strategy, whatever it is, the questions you should be asking is what, who, why, how, and where. And I'm going to take you through some exercises today to fine-tune that. Once you've got that, I can assure you your marketing is going to be that much easier. So, what is about what you sell? Who is who you sell to? Why are you selling to them? What problems are you solving? And what is your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? Does it really matter to you? Are you passionate about what you're doing? Because that's going to affect the way you deliver. And how do people buy? It's a very interesting customer journey now that has developed as a result of the internet. And then where do they buy? And this is where the integration of online and offline becomes important. People might search online but buy offline. So we'll talk about that as well. Starting with, quickly in the box below and on your worksheet, or I'd like you to put in a comment of what is your number one biggest challenge that you are dealing with right now in your business. Anything. If I can't help you, I'm going to invite some experts here in the same format to come and deal with some of those questions. So if it's HR or finance, the things that I certainly am not an expert on, but obviously have people who look after my businesses and who I work with who can definitely help you. So please post anything you're finding a big challenge. We want breakthrough for you today. Once you've done that, or if something springs to your mind whilst the training is going on, that's absolutely fine. Just type it into the comment box. So let's go to your worksheet, and you'll see the first part of your worksheet, pillar number 1, what do you sell? And the first line is features. Now, we all know the features. I bet you, all of you, or tell me if you're not doing this, all of you have a section on your website that has got a whole list of things like color, size, what other things? Anything you can taste, feel, touch. Yeah? So taste, feel, and see perhaps are features. You've all got a list of those, and I bet it's a very expensive list. But you know what? That doesn't actually matter a lot to the customer. What matters to the customer is the benefits they get. Their value perception is based on the benefits versus costs. Now, costs, you might think, is just dollars or rands or whatever, but to them, there's a lot of additional things they go into cost, effort, time, um, inconvenience or convenience. Those things all become part of a value perception. And how do you know what matters to them? What are the benefits to your customer? Well, I'd like to put it to you that you cannot identify benefits unless you know what makes your customer tick. So we're going to jump straight from the features row where you are listing all the features. By the way, your worksheet has got columns, and the way I recommend you do that is each of your business units or types of product is a separate column. So if you sell trousers, shirts, socks, whatever, and what are the features of each of those? The trousers are extra length, made from great fabric, come in all the colors, etc., etc. You would list that there. So the first line is complete, but straight away, in order to understand the benefits of what you sell, we're going to talk about how you compete, first of all. You've got a competitor worksheet there. Who are your competitors and what do they do better than you? I highly recommend you don't focus on your competitors too much, but you need to know it's not what they do, it's how they serve your customers better than you. That's the important thing to look at. So if you're snooping around their Facebook pages, their other social media platforms, their website, you would be focusing on what are they doing for their customer better than you. Not how do they look better than you, it's what do they do better than you. That is a very important part of identifying where you can identify your unique selling point by defining what you do better than they do. And what you do better than they do is what you focus on selling. But once again, what you do better than they do has to be about what they value. So let's go into who these people are, because once you know exactly who they are, this part is particularly going to tell you, psychographics is going to tell you what they value. So you've got a fabulous worksheet there, and let me just tell you, this worksheet is pure gold. This customer checklist, I can show you there, the customer checklist is the most incredible piece of work compiled by me, if you don't mind me saying so, where I spend many hours putting together a list of all the targeting criteria that Facebook offers you. So when you go now to do a Facebook ad, you can define all the targeting criteria in advance of going into your ad platform, and you know exactly what to pull up. So let's just look at the different aspects. Demographics is about who your customer is. Their age, their location, their gender, those things that are easy to define. So you want to specify those at the top. Facebook gives you the most amazing targeting criteria that allows you to target people by behavior and location. So are they traveling there? Are they living there? Temporary, full-time, etc. That's very important. Age groups as a matter of interest when you set up ads. Your most active population age group range on Facebook is 27 to 45. Those are the people who really are on Facebook and are engaging, i.e. share your content, tell other people what they see. So even if you are targeting the baby boomers and older generation, who by the way are now one of the biggest segments on Facebook, if you're targeting them, still do your promotion to 27, 45 plus, because those are the people who may well be seeing your posts and telling your relevant age group about it. But so just do me a favor and work through all those, because you'll suddenly get the most amazing inspiration for the type of people you can target in your ads. There's just interests is a very interesting one, and by interests are what gets their attention. So what are people reading? What are people watching? what are people following, who are people following. Those are all very important criteria in getting to know your customer. Why am I harping on this? In order to get your customer's attention, you have to go where they are. Meet them at their social places. So, for example, social media is no different to socializing with a friend. If you are going to have an evening out with somebody, generally you're going to go to a club that you both enjoy. Facebook is very much like that. You're going to a club where you are going to socialize and talk about mutual interests. So your marketing communication is not only about your product. It's about what interests your customers. That's how you get their attention, and they get to understand that you are talking their language and that there's a reason to connect. So interest becomes very interesting, and once you know what the interests are, you can drill down one level further and specify interests by brands people follow. So it becomes, for example, when you start talking about events, TV programs, for example, if they watch chat shows, whose chat shows do they actually watch? And if these chat shows, South Africa and our region, some of our very popular pages people follow and likes and so on, don't have enough followers to come up as an interest. But use something international, don't get despondent, put other ideas in that are similar, and you will target people much better by drilling down to specifics in your Facebook ads. But that's why you need to identify this. And it's not just for Facebook ads, by the way. Once you know your customer using this format, let's face it, Facebook would have invested lots and lots of millions of dollars in developing these criteria because they believe that's what identify people. So hence, that's why I'm using them to help you identify your ideal customer. So work through all of these. We will then get to a section that is about psychographics and behaviors. This is really what has changed with digital marketing. The internet has made so much more information accessible about customers. You can suddenly see and use code and get your geeks involved in tracking codes and so on to see which pages on your website people are following, which pages people are interested in, which pages people are arriving to, which pages people are leaving from. This is all part of behaviors, but it applies in all aspects. And back to Facebook. Facebook knows all about us because of what we read, watch, like. The algorithm puts it all together, and that's how they start defining stuff and start serving content to you that Facebook believes is relevant to you based on the experience of what you've liked and engaged with. So psychographics and behaviors are critical to really get to understand, because that's also going to help you be in front of the right customer at the right time with the right content. This is the part that relates back to benefits and tells you what makes your customer tick, what motivates them, what is their unique challenge, what keeps them awake at night, what are they looking for a solution for, what is their key problem that you can solve. Once you can identify that and talk to that pain point, that challenge, that opportunity, I can guarantee you suddenly your product or service is going to fly off the shelves. So that's a very important part of relating to everybody. And at the end of all those criteria, I have for you the actual worksheet, which is basically just going with the worksheet who your target market is, which segment. So for example, say target market, what would you put there? For a golf club, it would be golfers, and the particular segment would be male golfers or millennial golfers. And I always recommend you give your avatar name that means something to you. It could very well be an example of a real live customer of yours that you really like, that you really value. Put the name in there, because when you write copy, when you write an email, when you talk to that customer, you in your head refer to that name. I am writing to Joe, and Joe is my millennial golfer. And suddenly your communication will be that much focused, that much more personal, that much more targeted. Does that make sense? Let me know if I'm on track with you guys and if this is helpful, please. So fill in then, using the list of criteria, fill in each of these boxes, and suddenly you have an ideal customer perfectly defined. Once you've got your ideal customer perfectly defined, you're then going to know what problem you solve. So now we've done demo, we know exactly who they are, where they are, we know what gets their attention, we know how they live their lives, we know what makes them tick. Now we go back to the benefits. Now we know what their problems are, don't we? Now we know what problem we solve. Do they want convenience? Do they want recognition? Do they want quick solutions? Do they want to lose weight? Do they want to eat better, etc., etc.? What is the issue? What is the benefit? Now, I really would like you to go back to your features list and write a benefit for each feature. So if you're saying our trousers are extra length, what is the benefit of that? So obviously for very tall people, this is your solution. No more alterations, absolute convenience, walk out of the shop in trousers that fit you perfectly. That becomes a benefit. Write a benefit next to each feature, and when you now present your product to your ideal customer, focus on the benefits rather than the features. Put the features way down the list, but the benefits are the first thing you communicate your message. I am so-and-so, and I help you by doing this list. I bring you convenience, I bring you solutions, I bring you peace of mind, whatever it might be. You're very welcome to ask me if you're stuck on this. Give me a couple of features of what you tell me about what you do. Give me a couple of features, and I'll give you some examples of benefits. So that is important. And now we have restructured what you do and who you sell to. So I want to talk to you about why. So the why is about serving and the solution you bring, really believing in it and committing to the fact that the person's going to get the results that you promised to deliver. You need to believe in that because that's how you get return customers and how you get referrals and when word of mouth takes off. And that's when social media really works for you and reviews really work for you. It's when you keep your promise to them. So there's a relationship between you and them that extends way beyond the immediate experience and to sharing. That is one of the unique situations that online marketing has created for us. And in terms of the why, everything you do in your marketing strategy has to be about a specific outcome. I so often work with customers who are holding a promotion. And the first question I ask when they plan this huge promotion, everybody's getting stressed and setting budgets and it's getting terribly hectic, I bring them back to earth a little bit and say, guys, why are we doing this? Just remind me, what's the outcome we want? And it's very important in this part to know the outcome of your effort. Because if you haven't achieved your outcome, then you're wasting your time and probably money. And it really makes sense to, for example, as something as simple as a page likes ad. Where are you now? Where do you want to be in a week's time? Where do you want to be in a year's time? Very important to do short-term and long-term goals because if you only have long-term goals, you've got no measure in between. I'm not a great goal setter, but I like to know why I'm doing something. What is the purpose of the time I'm spending? Where will I see the benefit? So please focus on goal setting. Again, if you want some help here, that's great. But some of the social media goals, for example, is if you want brand awareness, how many people have you got following you? Where do you want to go? Market intelligence, set yourself goals of studying influencers, competitors, customers. How many a week are you going to check out and what information will you glean from it? becoming more efficient in your business. Certainly online marketing, because it's so measurable. All the social media platforms give you the most amazing statistics. You get analytics off your website and so on. Everything's really measurable. So you get a much better handle on your spend and the effort, your money and effort spend, than we used to in the old days when you advertised in a magazine and you knew the reach was so, but who actually engages. So also very easy to actually say, I want so many results and I'm prepared to pay so much per result. So the goal setting becomes a very important, guide for you to know you're on track and you're focusing on the right things. That's what this is about, is to get you focused. In small business, so often we tend to try and do everything. You get sidetracked by stuff. Just coming back to the outcome on what task you are working on will get you focused. If you can honestly sit there and say, this is going to bring me these results, then that's great. But if it doesn't, best you move on and do something else. There's also a great thing in small business. What is the best use of your time? If your time is better spent doing something other than what you're working on right now, and this is going to be less expensive to outsource than do yourself, then seriously consider doing it. There's a lot of bartering between us small business people, where we help each other out in return for other skills. So inviting you to ask for help right here in this group. If you need some support, can anybody refer anybody? Let's develop a network of proven, reliable, helpful people who are open-hearted and generous and we can all help each other. So that's your why, and it's about you and about them. So now the how. I want to talk to you about the customer journey. The customer journey is something that, again, has been created by the internet. Because we are all have got so much information available to us, and it is so convenient. Who doesn't go straight to Google when they've got the most stupid question? I mean, these days, you sit and have a conversation with somebody and ask about the age of Kirk Douglas, and somebody jumps straight on the internet and looks it up, and the question is solved. But that has created 5 steps, and you can make notes in your worksheet. So do write this down, because there's another exercise I'm proposing for you once we've got this button down. The first step in the online buying journey is dreaming. When people are going around social media looking and dreaming about what they're going to buy, about where they're going to travel, about what job they're going to have, about what they're going to look like, about what they're going to wear, all the ideas about where you want to be, psychographic motivators, are available mainly on social media. So people are going through Facebook, getting inspiration, Pinterest, all these great visual platforms, YouTube, dreaming about what they want to be, do, have in the future. The second step is researching. Once somebody is in a position to acquire or realize their dream, they start researching for the best solution, the best offer to achieve that dream, or to acquire, or to go on the trip, to buy what they want, to become who they wish they were, that kind of thing. So researching is the second step. The third step is experiencing. Is buying. So once somebody has found all the criteria they want, they now decide what is going to solve it best, and they're going to buy the solution or whatever. Fourth is experiencing, and that's now when they're actually physically using your product and either on holiday at your venue or unwrapping physically the experience of using the product, or in your gym training with you as a personal trainer, or wearing the new outfit. that experience now, because everybody is in the mode of telling their friends and family about everything that happens in their lives, becomes sharing. The fifth stage is people tell their friends and family about this experience, and by the way, what happens here. So you have to now, in your marketing strategy, go through each of these stages and think how you are stacking up and where and what you need to do to talk to these people. I'm sure a lot of you know about the ADA principle. Please refer to your notes. How do you get their attention, retain their interest, get them to desire, and then acquire? So I would like you, as part of an exercise to get your strategy nicely lined up, is to go to dreaming and think about how you're getting people's attention in that stage of the buyer's journey. Are your images really engaging? Are you putting lots of video content out there? What are you doing to actually get attention? And then start making some points about what you can do better. Now we're starting to use the rest of the exercises we've done, like what do your competitors do better, what makes your customers tick, where do they watch, who do they follow, what do they talk about. This comes here now. So now you start writing about how to get to people in this stage. And you go through each of these. The interesting thing is that these two, dreaming and research, are mainly done online. That's where people do all their, spend all their time, mainly on social media as well. Here becomes an interesting one. A lot of people buy online, but a lot of people, particularly the older generation and people who are very concerned about cyber crime and all those things, will want to now start a direct relationship. Now you've got to start making sure your offline processes complement your online processes. You've got to go to where the people are. Make it very simple for them to interact and engage with you. So this becomes quite an intense exercise to make sure your systems work. I was asked by a client to do a mystery guest bit of work for them, and the first thing I did was go and try and make a booking on their website, and straight away that link was broken. So the first step to the buying process, once somebody's gone through this and you've done all that right, and now somebody wants to actually give you their money, if that is broken, that is a very, very sad waste of your time. So please test your systems, train your people, make sure that this works. Then obviously the experience. There are so many opportunities to engage with people when they are using or experiencing or on-site. Please use it. Testimonials, the social proof of people checking in on Facebook to tell all their friends they at you or with you, developing hashtags that people share about your product to give more reach, more awareness. You've got to do those to leverage word of mouth, the best free form of marketing. That's how you do it, is to get people to share their experience. One other great way is to run photo competitions or video and ask people to share content of them at your venue using your product. And the sharing becomes very important. You share their content, they talk about you, and tell all your friends about it. There's been a very funny video that's gone viral about the guy who created the fake restaurant and is now #1 on TripAdvisor in London. Have you seen that? It shows reviews can be fake, but that should not put you off. You need to get reviews, and the best part about a review that is genuine is your customer talking about you and using your services in a very informal, unstaged manner. So very relaxed, very real testimonial videos are gold in terms of sharing. So please create those and use them to promote and give other people reassurance that they've found the right thing, because this then spins back to research and helps people make this decision to buy. Okay, so there you are. What plus who plus why plus how and plus where, because this is going to tell you where you need to be, online, social media, website, etc., etc. This will give you all this information. That is suddenly, and I do believe very simply, let me know if you think it is pretty simple. It's going to take work. Nothing is going to happen without a bit of work. But certainly, this is going to help you set up a 6-page marketing strategy in, if you put your head to it, in a day, you'd have it. And then suddenly you've got direction for what you do, where you allocate your money, where you allocate your time. So, folks, what's next? So I've got a fabulous surprise here for you today. I am going to do this format of training every Thursday at this time. So I hope you will make it a date, and I look forward to being back with you every Thursday from noon. We'll be around for about half an hour of training and do a Q&A on whatever is bothering you, or what barriers you've encountered in the last week, or what you need to know to move forward next week. I'm asking you to please post questions about anything here that you'd now like me to go in depth into in the next training. Alternatively, I will choose the topic based on what I believe is really relevant and really helpful at the time. I'm going to offer these every week until the end of February. And this will give you a taster of how I work. And by the end of February, I'm going to offer you a membership on this group to pay 200 Rand a week for this kind of training. I hope you agree that this is worth a lot more than 200 Rand a week. I'm going to facilitate payment online, make it very simple for you to manage your payment, and you stay with me on a month-to-month basis for as long as you want and as long as you find it helpful. If you don't want to be here anymore, you give me a week's notice and you're out. And you don't have to pay for the next month, and we end it. And sorry for you, you get booted out of my group. But let's see how it goes for the next month. I really hope to be of great service for you. I invite you all to post any questions below that I can help you with, and use the worksheet, use the content. I can promise you that Facebook targeting ideal avatar worksheet is worth a lot more than 200 Rand. So use these tools. Tell me how you get on, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much for giving me the privilege of being with you here today. I know it's lunchtime, and you want to run for a bite to eat and a cup of coffee. Enjoy. Until next week, be extraordinary. Let's get you moving ahead and rocketing right out of the starting block. Bye-bye, everyone.